This right here speaks a whole lot to me in my heart, and that is be able to speak to the youth about financial literacy. Guys, you know what this channel is all about: financial planning. A couple of things we talked about: credit. We talked about budgeting. Let's be honest, guys, a lot of this stuff we were never taught in schools. We had to learn on our own, and that's when the mistakes happen. Ladies and gentlemen, it was an honor to speak at my old high school, Liberty High School. Go Lions. The power of credit and also budgeting to the students. Stay tuned, and I'm going to be sharing the clips that was shared and the lessons to the students. And I'll see you in a bit. I love to explain what credit is. It's a relationship, right? You're not going to go to someone, hey, can I borrow $25? They don't know you, right? Same thing with the banks. You're going to go over there and say, hey, I want to build a relationship, but I want to be able to borrow some money with you guys because I want to get this car, I want to get this house. I don't have the funds, but I know you guys have the funds, but let's build that relationship. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get a credit card, and I'm going to make payments over time. Payments, right? I'm going to buy things and make sure I pay you on time so that we build that trust relationship, right? So that way they can trust you and lend you more money. So that's essentially what it is. Credit is just a relationship, and it applies to real life, you know? How many people borrow money or have friends that, hey, can I borrow $25 next week? You know, hey, I'll get you next week. You know, there's some kind of excuse, right? So now you have bad credits with your friends. So it's the same thing, right? It's the same thing with the banking system. So credit is broken down into 5 different categories. So there is a scoring model which is built on an algorithm, okay? So the algorithm is built on a score system with the 3 credit bureaus. Most Americans don't know what 3 credit bureaus, but I want to know what you guys know what 3 credit bureaus are? Okay, no worries. So the first credit bureau is TransUnion, Equifax is the second, and Experian. So these are the 3 main private businesses, they're not government agencies, that collect your data, and they all have a different algorithm system. So the highest score that you can get on your credit is an 850. The lowest you can get is a 300. Or if you have no credit, by default it's 300. Okay? So it's like a two-way high street because you can have good credit, but then you can also have bad credit, right? So you can have bad things on your report, and then you can also have good things. So the ideal is you don't want to have anything bad, all right? Who can tell me what is the most damaging thing you can do to your credit that can drop your score? Yeah, exactly, late payments. So we're going to go ahead and talk about the 5 ways of how credit altogether is calculated off that algorithm system with the 300 and 850 credit score. And if you want to get to that maximum score possible, you have to know these 5. So number 1 is the payment history. So 35% of your credit score is payment history. So you don't want to have any late. You know, I tell people all the time, man, do whatever you can to make that minimum payment, because once it goes over 30 days of late, that's considered a late payment. So you can go over, you know, a day or 2, but it doesn't report on your credit report until after 30 days of no payments. So that would be considered a late payment. All right, so 35% is late payments, and that can drop your score up to 192 points. So it's major, all right? All right, so the second one is called credit utilization, okay? So this is if you have a credit card. How many of you guys got credit cards right now? Okay. All right, so a credit card essentially is basically, like you said, you're getting a loan, right? You're getting, let's say, a $1,000 limit, all right? And you don't, let's say you're $1,000, all right? Don't want to go over 30% of that. So this is the credit utilization. This is 30% of your credit score, okay? So what happens is, if you start going over that 30%, so $300 out of that 1,000, just for example purposes, your score will start to drop, because now it's kind of showing that, you know, hey, you're using a lot of your limit, you know, to the banks. It's kind of risky, right? Because it's like, hey, are you able to make sure you're able to pay this back, you know? So it shows good, that shows money management if you're only spending just 30 or less percent. So this is 165 points that you can gain or lose in that category. All right. Number 3 is called new credit. All right. So new credit is essentially when you apply for any type of credit, right? It can be a credit card, it can be a vehicle, student loans. This is anything that you're inquiring, all right, on your credit report. And this is called a hard inquiry. How many of you guys heard of hard inquiries? Or dinging your credit? It's a term for that. So these are hard inquiries. So it's about 2 or 3 points, all right? They stay on your report for about 2 years. After the first year, it no longer hurt your score. So it's about 2 or 3 points. But what looks bad, because you can have the best credit score ever, but if you have a lot of inquiries show that, hey, if you have too many of them, it looks like you're desperate, right? Why you're inquiring so much credit, right? And that's what the banks are looking at, or these lenders are looking at. So you want to keep your inquiries low, okay? So anywhere from 5, maybe 3 within a year period, all right? It depends on your strategy. Maybe you're not ready to buy the house yet, maybe that car yet, and you just want to get a bunch of credit cards just to build your portfolio up. You can go ahead and do that because, again, after that first year, it's not going to no longer hurt your score, and then after that 2 years, it's going to fall off anyways. So it depends on your strategy. So that's number 3. That is called new credit. That is 10% of your credit score, so 55 points you can gain or lose in that category, okay? The next 10% category is called your credit file mix. All right, so your credit file mix is a variety of different credit accounts on your profile. Okay, so this is your card, credit cards, student loans, personal loans, business loans. These are all on your credit file. All right, so this is your new credit. All right, credit file mix. So again, 55 points in that category. The only way you can build that up, again, just having built credit over the years. All right, and then the final category, guys, is 15% of your credit score. This is credit age. All right, and really there is no way to really speed that up because you can get 89 points in that category, but really it's just let your credit file mature over the years, right? 2 years, 3 years, and then you're gonna actually max that category out. So that is 5 ways on how your credit score is calculated. You want to master that because there's always some areas that you could be lacking in. And what you can do is you can go to like creditkarma.com. It's a free report. So here's a myth too that I've been asked a lot. Does it hurt your score to check your own credit? Right? I get that a lot. It does not. Okay? So you can actually get what's called a free credit report. It's called free annual credit report. You can apply for that, and it'll give you like basically what's on your credit file. Because you want to check that also because there can be a lot of errors that go on your report and you don't even know about it. For me, for example, I have the same name as my dad, and a lot of his stuff got on my report. So you want to, monitor that. So if there is some errors, you can actually dispute that and get those things removed. Okay. So you want to monitor that. And then, again, Credit Karma is a good free tool to use to kind of just check your report. All right, so then you got what is called installment loans, and then you also got what is called revolving lines of credit. All right, an installment loan is essentially your vehicle, right? It's your house. It's a loan that has an end date, okay? Once it's closed, it's closed. It's no longer really affecting your credit score. Revolving credit is your credit cards, all right? It's basically it never expires, right? It's always active. This is why you never want to close a credit card, okay? Because people make the mistake, they had this, they had a large limit, they're struggling paying it, interest rates, and they finally got it paid down, and then they decided to close it because they didn't want to deal with that credit card. That is the #1 mistake that a lot of people do because remember that 5 I was telling you guys about? If you close a credit card, you basically deleted all that information that you just built over the years. And that will damage your score tremendously. All right, especially if you only have like maybe 1 or 2 credit cards.
Just like keep it open and use it.
Exactly. Put it in a save, cut it up. Leave it open. That's the key. All right. So the thing about installment loans, it automatically closes anyways. So it's good to help your score out, and then also the lender saying, hey, look, I paid this off before, they'll most likely give you another loan. But as far as your credit scoring wise, if it closes, it's going to drop your score a little bit. So this is why you don't want to pay it off too fast, especially if you're in the process of applying for a home, or let's say you want to get a vehicle. You know, you want to just keep it paid over time. All right. So that is installment loans and revolving lines of credit. Okay. Another thing is a good trick. This is a lot of people don't know about this. It's called the authorized users. All right. So this is perfect if you don't have any credit. All right. Let's just say you had, mom, dad, they had excellent credit for like 30 years, and what they could do is they could put you on their credit card, and basically all that information that's on their profile, all those years, will go onto your credit file and actually boost you up. I've seen scores like someone that had no credit and got put on authorized user got into the 750s just by default. So guess what? Parents don't no longer have to co-sign. They can actually apply for their own card. So that's an amazing tool to use. So credit, man, it's a very powerful tool. I think I heard earlier. Basically, it's OPM, stands for other people's money. All right. There's power of leverage. Right? Again, we don't have $30,000 sitting in our bank. We don't have $500,000 sitting in our bank. But we can borrow based off our relationship, making our payments on time. We're able to qualify for things for ourselves, whether it's a personal loan, vehicle, and then also get better deals, right? Interest rates are high right now, right? But if your score is really good, you can get a cheaper interest rate, and you save a lot more money off the principal over the payment over time, okay? It's the best thing to building credit out of everything, right? You can have a car, you can have a mortgage, you can have student loans. But the best thing to build credit is a credit card, guys. Why a credit card is the best way to build credit. Your credit card is calculated by all 5 categories at the same time. Remember, payment history, right? That you can make payments over time. Is also considered new credit, right? When you apply for a new line of credit. It's also included your credit file mix, right? Having more different credit files. Credit cards included in that. Credit utilization. That's really the only thing that calculates how much you can, don't go over that 30%. That's a credit card. And then age. Credit cards never expire unless you close it. So all 5 categories is how a credit card is the best because it affects all 5 categories versus anything else. This is why I stress always get more credit cards. Just let it mature over the years. And also some great perks too, guys. So I'll tell you why there's some benefits on why you should just use your credit card versus your debit card. But give me some examples on why I think credit cards are better to use than a debit card. Is how many people got fraud on their debit cards? And it's hard.
I just did a bank house closed.
It's closed?
Yeah, they closed my account.
Oh,
Like 100.
gosh. Ask this question, who do you think the bank's going to work harder for? Your money or their money? Exactly, right?
That's a good, I never thought about that, yeah.
So,
You're right.
if it's your money, man, they're going to take their sweet time. Hey, give you 2 weeks. It's just an inconvenience, right? You're going to need that money right then. So, this is why you want to start using your credit card.
If you lose your debit card, they'll takes 2 weeks to get a new one, but if you use your credit card, they'll overnight it to you. Because they want you to run up your credit, but your debit, that's your money.
Exactly.
That's a good observation, because understand that if you have a credit card, then they're going to work harder to limit your debit as your money so they don't pay as much.
Yeah, it's ultimate protection. And there's other perks too, like you pay your cell phone bill. They now have perks where if you break your phone, lose your phone, they'll reimburse it. So there's so many perks I can go into. I can talk hours about that. But guys, when you're just building your credit, just keep it real simple. You don't have to go into debt to build credit. The way I can keep it simple, whatever you got in the money in your bank, right? Whatever it's $300,000, $400,000, let that be your limit on what your access to your credit card. I don't care if they give you a $20,000 limit on your credit card. Whatever's in your bank, that $1,000, whatever it is,
That's a good one too.
that's your mindset. You want to keep it at. So, buy gas, necessary things, the things you're going to buy anyways, right? That's necessary. You'll just transfer your bank money over to the credit card to pay it off. And you're building credit. On top of that, you're getting perks, rewards, security. So that's just basically the basic information, guys, I want to give you on credit. And I also want to give you guys some more knowledge as well. On top of having a good credit, you also want to have some good money management skills as well. One of the strategies that I like to do, right? We out there. How many of you guys got jobs already? Oh man. Okay, great. So this is good because I know when I first got my first job, I was blowing money like crazy. I was having a lot of fun, buying a lot of video games. So one of the strategies in life, this is going to help you guys, you know, for your future, is you want to have a good budgeting plan. All right, especially if you do have, let's say you did get some debt on your credit cards, you want to start trying to tackling that down. All right, so one of the strategies I've created was the 4x4. Okay, let's just say you make $1,000. All right, and this $1,000 is after everything is paid off, all your bills. Okay, this is just leftover money. All right, you want to break this down into 4 parts. All right, so basically you want to break it down into $250 4 times. All right. All right, so the first one is, the first $250 is you want to use that money to pay off any kind of debt that you guys got. So if you got credit card debt, maybe, you know, a loan, you want to use that $250 towards that. So this will be for debt. All right. The next 250 is, this is going to be an actual question. It's an emergency fund. How many in here know what an emergency fund is? Yep, 100% correct. So you always want to have some kind of emergency fund. You know, I always like to use the term Murphy's Law. Always something breaks down or something comes up, and now you got to use some expenses to pay it off. So, emergency fund. But you guys can use it for any kind of emergency. Let's see. All right. All right, the next category is, this can be either a down payment, investments, maybe you want to have your money grow for you, retirement. This is what the other $250 is. So I'll put it in category retirement. All right. And then the last $250 is for yourself. Enjoy it. Maybe you want to go buy something nice, food, whatever the case may be. That's what the other $250 is for. So yourself. This right here helped me out so much throughout the years, because sometimes, like I was saying, you know, we get caught up sometimes. You know, we're overspending on things. Guys, you guys wouldn't understand how much money I spent on DoorDash last year. Crazy. It's just, now everything's got so convenient now, and it's just, I just got more lazy now. It's just, hey, and all of a sudden at the end of the year, I'm like, what is going on? So this right here will help you manage your money, and also you'll be able to strategize throughout your life. Anything that comes up, you know, as I was talking about the emergency fund, things happen in life where we need money and we may not have access to. Besides credit, you have some cash, right? Paying down your debt, right? You have money to pay down some debt now. This is a good strategy just in general for life. All right, guys, so throughout the years, you know, you use this strategy, you're going to look back like, man, Joseph just told me this whole strategy, and look how much I'm so managed now. So this is a good strategy, guys. Definitely wanted to share that with you, because this was definitely not taught to me. It's something I just, throughout the years, I learned based off experience, what is going to be valuable to you guys. I hope you enjoyed what you just watched.
Again, this is something that I'm very passionate about, and this is myself giving back to the youth, teaching the world about financial literacy, because we all know that this is much needed. If you have not already, subscribe to this channel for financial planning. And guys, if you have not already as well, if you have not joined the PIN group, go ahead and join the PIN group. Link is in the description. It's a powerful environment where we discuss many different opportunities, where we discuss our journeys and our visions of where we're going to go. God bless you, and I'll see you next time.